Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Hey everyone, this is Damien from DSLR Nerd. How are you guys doing? I'm doing like a point of view today. First off, I guess we'll cover this. This is my my 70 to 300 f4 to 5.6. It's got image stabilization, mode 1 and 2 on it. It's got obviously autofocus, manual focus. So it's got a lock button as well, just like my 18 to 200, 3.5 to 5.6 kit lens. Decent size. So this is basically the budget 70 to 300. This retails for about 630, and I picked this up for 270 on eBay. That's a little on the higher end. I've seen them go for 250 or so as well. So anyway, I wanted this focal range. I certainly wanted f2.8. But that would cost me with image stabilization at least $900 used and upwards of $1,500 or $1,600 for the 200 to 400 Canon f2.8. The new version, the older version, the Mark I version of that, you can probably get around 11 or 1200. But the Mark II version of the 200 to 400 runs about 1600 used. Anyway, so for $250 you can pick up one of these, get an extra 100mm out of it. Now it is f4 to 5.6. If you'll look at two pictures I took inside, you know, f4 is acceptable indoors, but 5.6 really starts to get dark. So when there's a range in the f-stop, it means that at the wider millimeter, that it's f4, and then extended all the way out to 300mm, it's f5.6. 5.6 is pretty dark for an interior shot, so this makes this a budget outdoor birding lens. I don't think you could put a 2x on this. You'd really lose all your light. What I will probably do is use this for a while until I can afford at least the Mark I version of the 70 to 200 2.8. And then I'll give this to my wife, and on her crop sensor camera this will be so that would be, so it's a 70, you multiply that 1.6, so it's 112 to 1.6, 112 to 480 would be the millimeter range on a crop body sensor. T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, 60D, 70D, 7D, 50D, 40D, 30D, 20D, all crop sensor. So this is a nice range. I'll take a couple of test pictures with it and show that on the blog. Alright, so I took a picture of a box. This wasn't totally in focus on the corner of my desk, and I was probably 4 or 5 feet away, as I said, and then I got a shot of the heater across the way on the floor. That's 300mm. So this lens doesn't really have a lot of creep in it. Lens creep is basically, in some of the kit lenses you notice it pretty bad. When you're walking around, your camera's pointed down, your lens will kind of unfurl like that. So I could shake this pretty good and it only comes out a little bit. So I'm not really sure that it was needed to have a lock mechanism on this, but it's nice none the same. Now, you got to remember that it's locked or you'll miss your shot. Image stabilization mode 1 means it stabilizes while you're pretty much holding it like this. Image stabilization mode 2 means it stabilizes while you're panning or tracking from left to right. You definitely want the stabilizer turned on. If you're on a tripod and you've got a microphone, then it'll pick up the stabilization noise pretty well. The motor's kind of loud for being USM. I think it would be picked up on a microphone, especially on the camera's internal microphone, maybe not on a boom. One thing that's weird, I thought you were able to reach up on all USM lenses and turn the manual focus ring when it's on autofocus, but this one you can't. which surprises me. I thought that was a standard thing with USM lenses. So nope, you have to switch it to manual here before you can turn this. And note, turning it rotates the inner barrel as well. It's not very smooth. Definitely not as smooth as my Prime 50. I always pick up the Canon version of the lens hood. I'm not really much in favor of using UV filters as lens protection unless I'm going to be shooting in the blowing sand or light rain. So my favorite form of protection is to buy the lens hood and attach that on the end of your lens. This wants to twist the whole focusing mechanism, so you have to kind of grab this last little bit of ring here and steady it to pop this lens hood on, because in manual focus, as I said, my whole lens hood will be rotating now. That's kind of crappy. So with Canon lens hoods, you pay a bit more, but the hood fits on better, more snug at the end of the lens. It's a little firmer plastic, and the inside of the hood has like a layer of felt, which cuts down on light bouncing off the inside of the plastic. So that's why it's worth a bit more. I think this was like 30 bucks. Pretty deep lens hood. You definitely want to pick up a pinch cap if you've got this lens hood on. I can do it with the old side pinch, but easier to do it with a front pinch. And the thing as well about this hood is it does go on backwards, but it's turning that mechanism. I've got it on, let's put it on autofocus, but still I don't want to turn that mechanism. So you you have to kind of balance the camera and hold the end here, and there's really no way to get your finger up inside there to hold that rotating end of the lens to let you tighten this lens hood on. So that's kind of a bummer. It's pretty difficult to put the lens hood on backwards, which means you've got to sort of have it on the whole time or carry it with you to your shoot. So then you've got this $30 piece of plastic protecting the glass of your lens, rather than a UV filter, which, as we know, would has a potential to degrade the image. Alright, so that's been my review of the Canon 70-300 f4 to 5.6. I will post some more pictures of it when I get a chance. As I said, it's a cheap alternative to the 70-200 made by either Canon, Sigma, or Tamron. They're all pretty pricey. So this has been Damien for DSLR Nerd. Please check out my blog and hang out, ask some questions. Alright, have a good day.